Most people get this wrong when they try to start a company in Sri Lanka. They think it's just filling a form and getting a certificate. But in reality, one small mistake in structure, name approval, or tax registration can delay your business for weeks or even months. Here's the truth no one tells you. Starting a company in Sri Lanka is actually straightforward, but only if you follow the exact legal sequence in the right order. If you skip steps or rush the process, you end up stuck in corrections, rejections, or unnecessary costs. In this guide, you are going to learn exactly how to start a company in Sri Lanka in 2026, step by step. We will go through company types, registration with the Registrar of Companies, tax registration, banking setup, and real-world mistakes beginners make. And I will keep everything simple, so even if you have zero experience, you can follow it easily. And stay with me, because in a minute, I'll show you the single most important decision that determines whether your company is easy to grow or legally complicated from day one. Now let's begin. The first thing you need to understand is that in Sri Lanka, companies are officially registered under one main authority. This is called the Registrar of Companies, often known as ROC Sri Lanka. This government body is responsible for giving your company legal identity. But before you even go to the registration process, you need to make a critical decision that most beginners overlook. You must choose your business structure. And this is where most mistakes happen. There are three common types of business structures in Sri Lanka. The first is sole proprietorship. This is the simplest option. One person owns and runs the business. It is easy to start, requires minimal paperwork, and is commonly used for small shops or freelance work. But here's the problem. There is no legal separation between you and your business. That means if your business gets into debt or legal issues, you are personally responsible. For example, imagine a person named Nimal in Colombo, who starts a small online store as a sole proprietor. If the business fails or owes money, creditors can go after his personal savings or assets. So while it is easy, it is not safe for long-term growth. The second option is a partnership. This is where two or more people run a business together. Profits, responsibilities, and decisions are shared. But now here's where it gets interesting. Partnerships often look simple in the beginning, but without a strong legal agreement, disputes can arise very quickly. One partner may want to expand, another may want to exit, and suddenly the business slows down. That is why most serious entrepreneurs avoid informal partnerships. Now we come to the most important structure. Private limited company. This is the most professional and scalable structure in Sri Lanka. It is registered under the Companies Act and creates a separate legal identity. That means the company exists independently from its owners. So if someone named Aisha and Candy starts a private limited company, the company itself owns the business, contracts, and liabilities. Not Aisha personally. This structure also allows you to open corporate bank accounts, attract investors, and grow professionally. This is why most growing businesses eventually choose this option. Now here's a key insight. Many beginners skip understanding this and directly jump into registration. Later, they regret it when they try to scale. So step 1 is simple. Choose your structure carefully. And for most people watching this, a private limited company is the safest long-term choice. Now let's move to the second step. Company name reservation. Before you can register your company, you need to choose a unique name and get it approved by the Registrar of Companies. Your company name must not be identical or too similar to an existing registered company. For example, if you try to register Colombo Digital Solutions PVT Ltd, and a similar name already exists, your application may be rejected. So the smart approach is to prepare at least 3 to 5 name options before starting. A good company name should be simple, professional, and relevant to your business activity. Avoid overly generic names because they are often already taken. Once you submit your name, it goes through approval. If accepted, it is reserved for your use. But here's an important detail most people miss. Name reservation is not permanent. It has a limited validity period. You must complete registration within that time, or you lose the name and must apply again. So timing matters a lot here. Now let's move to the main registration process. Company incorporation with ROC Sri Lanka. This is the legal process where your company officially becomes a registered entity. You will need to submit several documents. The first is the Articles of Association. This document explains how your company will operate internally. It includes rules, shareholder rights, and decision-making structure. The second is the Form 1 and Form 18 documents, which include details about directors, shareholders, and registered office address. You will also need copies of identification documents, like national identity cards or passports, for directors and shareholders. And you must provide a registered office address in Sri Lanka. This is the official address of your company. Now let's pause here, because this is where many applications get delayed. Not because the system is difficult, but because documents are inconsistent or incomplete. For example, if your address proof does not match your application details, you may be asked to resubmit documents. That adds time and frustration. So accuracy is extremely important at this stage. Once your documents are reviewed and approved, the registrar issues a certificate of incorporation. This is your official proof that your company legally exists in Sri Lanka. Now, many people think the process is finished here. But actually, there are still important steps left. And this is where things get interesting. Next is tax registration. In Sri Lanka, every company must register with the Inland Revenue Department to obtain a tax identification number, commonly known as TIN. This is required for legal tax filing and financial transactions. Without TIN, your company cannot operate fully in the formal economy. The process is relatively simple, but it must be done correctly after incorporation. Now let's take an example. Imagine a business owner named Ravi in Gala, who registers his company but delays tax registration. Later, when he tries to open a bank account or work with corporate clients, he faces delays because he is not fully compliant. So tax registration is not optional. It is essential. Now let's move to another important step. Opening a corporate bank account. Once your company is registered and you have your tax number, you can open a business bank account in Sri Lanka. Banks like Commercial Bank, Sampath Bank, and Bank of Ceylon offer corporate accounts. You will need your incorporation certificate, TIN certificate, and company documents. The bank will verify everything before opening your account. Now here's where it gets interesting. A corporate bank account is what transforms your business from informal activity into a real structured company. It allows you to receive payments professionally, build credibility, and scale operations. Now let's talk about compliance, because this is where many new businesses struggle. After registration, companies in Sri Lanka must follow annual compliance rules. This includes filing annual returns and maintaining proper financial records. If you ignore compliance, your company can face penalties, or even be removed from the registry. So think of registration as step 1. Compliance is what keeps your company alive long-term. Now let's look at a real-world example. A young entrepreneur named Kamal in Negombo starts a software company. He follows all steps properly. He registers his company, completes tax registration, opens a bank account, and stays compliant. Within a year, he is able to work with international clients because his business is fully legal and structured. Now compare that with someone who operates informally. They might earn money, but they struggle with scaling, banking, and contracts. The difference is structure. Now let's quickly summarize everything so you have a clear roadmap. First, choose your business structure. Private limited company is best for long-term growth. Second, reserve your company name with the Registrar of Companies. Third, prepare and submit incorporation documents. Fourth, receive your certificate of incorporation. Fifth, register for tax and obtain your TIN. Sixth, open a corporate bank account. And finally, maintain ongoing compliance. Now let's talk about mistakes you must avoid. The first mistake is choosing the wrong business structure too quickly. The second mistake is submitting incorrect or mismatched documents. The third mistake is delaying tax registration. And the fourth mistake is ignoring compliance after registration. Avoiding these mistakes will make your entire process smooth and professional. So here is your final takeaway. Starting a company in Sri Lanka in 2026 is not difficult. The system is clear and structured. The key is following the legal steps in the correct order without rushing. If you do that, you can build a fully registered, compliant, and scalable business that is ready for long-term growth. And once your company is properly set up, everything becomes easier. Banking, clients, partnerships, and expansion all become possible. If this guide helped you understand the process clearly, make sure to like this video, leave a comment with your questions, and subscribe for more step-by-step business guides like this. Because understanding these systems is the first step toward building real businesses anywhere in the world.